So now we know from the episode that the 71 Plymouth Cuda was available with a 426 Hemi, both in a hardtop and a convertible. Just to talk about the convertibles, because they seem to be the 50-foot shark that everybody's heard about but nobody's seen in person. You know, they're very rare, very collectible. A good friend of mine has two of those cars. He has the very first one that was ever built and the 11th one that was built. There's controversy around why they're so collectible. They're collectible because they're the coolest looking cars on the planet. It's why Nash Bridges went out and painted one Curious Yellow and made a clone out of it. And it was one of the most popular TV shows of its time. Still probably is in syndication. A 71 Hemi Cuda convertible had torque boxes just like a 318 or a 6-cylinder would have. That's kind of an interesting thing. So when you saw me in the past episodes talk about the frame reinforcements at the front and at the back, if you had a 6-cylinder 71 Barracuda convertible, they would have also had that. It's just that the Hemi car would have had an additional few things, such as the heavy-duty plates that go on the inside of the torque box, where the leaf springs go through, had a plate at the front, a plate at the back, and that sandwiched the actual torque box. That was for an enormous amount of torque through the leaf springs, as well as it would have had a pinion snubber, like all the Hemi cars were required to have an extra plate welded to the floor of the car for the pinion snubber to come up into. But would I want a 71 Hemi Cuda convertible? First off, I could never afford a 71 Hemi Cuda convertible. But even if I could, I think when they made 11 of them, and they're the most desirable muscle car in the history of muscle cars, I don't think I'd ever feel comfortable out driving one. That's one of those few cars that, in my opinion, should stay in a museum, where it can be admired, it can be studied, it can be talked about, but it never runs the risk of becoming a dinosaur because somebody blasted into it at a stoplight when they were texting or not paying attention. I would like to have a Cuda convertible, but again, my own personal opinion, there's a couple hundred pounds more weight with the 426 Hemi. You start getting a lot of weight out in the nose of those cars, those E-bodies, they don't handle as well. If I had my choice to drive, not value, 1971 Cuda convertible 344 speed. Be a beautiful driver.